Hello and welcome to Rage Quit. My name is Jay and today I'm going to be talking about why I think that stuff like the Kill Team Annual 2019 and things like the general handbooks from Games Workshop, why I think they are pretty damn garbage, but also on some levels why I actually like them. I'll explain more in a second. If at the end of this video you like the video, press like. If you're not subscribed, press subscribe because it really helps and I'd very much appreciate it. So let me talk about what they are first. The Kill Team Annual 2019, well, I can actually get it up on the screen. Let me click a button there, click this button here. It's going to be a book that includes all of the points, new points, I presumably new, otherwise I don't see the point in doing the book. All of the points for everything that has been released for Kill Team since it came out. Now, it came out last summer, and as far as I know, the last release for it was May this year of Kill Team Elite, right? So you might be thinking, Jay, that sounds fine. Oh, we're getting new points. It's going to be balanced. Great. I just don't think you should sell your rules like this. Yeah, that is essentially going to be the core principle here. You might even see the Rage in Rage Quit today. Because, yep, it's fine. So this is a new book that is going to have points for everything that's come out since the game came out. Now, stuff that's older than a year, yeah, fair enough. It probably needs updating. Now, you do have General's Handbooks, which are essentially the same thing for 40k and Age of Sigmar. Everything that's come out, everything that exists, they're going to update the points once a year, and those points are, I think it's once a year, might be once every 2 years. Either way, they're going to update the points, and you're going to need your original rules, because you need your first rule book that has the rules in them, and then you're going to need the new book that has the points, right? So you've already got two books for one, and for the Kill Team specifically, even though you're going to have points for, say, Kill Team Elites. Kill Team Elites came out in May this year, I believe. You're going to need the original book of Kill Team Elites because you're going to need the rules, and you're going to need the new points. So you're going to have two books, maybe three, because you'll need the original rule book as well. And yes, there's extra stuff in here like the specialists. Sure, fantastic. These are specialists from the Commander's book, so it sounds like you might not need the Commander's book. I'm not 100% sure. I'm not that interested. It collates all the missions. Great. It's the ultimate compilation. So it's got stuff from like White Dwarf as well, which is fine, and it's also got the Sisters of Battle new stuff. Cool. Having the Sisters of Battle of its own little add-on book would be cool. Collecting everything together, well, the problem with this is, right, it's collecting stuff from White Dwarf. Should you even have that much stuff in White Dwarf that it'd be worth putting into a separate book? You're then charging people for White Dwarf if they want that stuff. Then you're charging people for the yearly book if they want the rest of the points. Honestly, I'm so baffled. I'm going to be very rambly today, and it's a bit ranty, so I do apologise. But now there is something coming for Warcry as well. Now this, I don't think is as bad. The Tome of Champions is essentially going to be basically all the non-Chaos factions, although it does actually include the Chaos factions from what I can gather. All the non-Chaos factions had card packs. Now those card packs were a one-and-done kind of thing, so instead of like replacing them, they're going to release them as a book. Now it does say there's going to be much more besides. Now I hope that's not new points and the points don't change, because this game literally came out this year, and the Mercenaries and Monsters, that came out in September. So if this had any new points differences for that book, then you're looking at new points 3 months after release. It would be very on the nose in my opinion. Now this is already a thing that happens as far as I know in 40k and Age of Sigmar, but I just can't understand how people deem it as being okay. I just don't, it's boggling. So there are, just before I get ahead of myself, sometimes they do release certain things as PDFs, not just in White Dwarf. However, I think most of the Kill Team stuff that they've released in White Dwarf hasn't seen a PDF. I did a little check in the Discord for that, so if I'm wrong, I blame the Warcry Discord, Kill Team Discord. So, yeah. And as far as I know, the General's Handbook does only have points, it doesn't have rules. Again, I checked the Warhammer 40k Discord there, so again, if I'm wrong, we're blaming them. So that's my fact-checking out of the way, although I could just be the conservatives on this one again. But yeah, like, okay. Right, okay, let's move on. I'm so like baffled, and it blows my mind that I don't understand how they can do this. So two main things: should you sell point upgrades for stuff that was released in that year? Right, that's number one. 2, should you have rules spread out across things like White Dwarf, maybe even online, and then in their own books when needed? So we'll come to the first one. I personally think selling points or selling updates to your rules once a year or once every 2 years or whatever it's going to end up being is garbage. I think it's terrible. I don't like it. I think it's bad value. I don't know why they can get away with this. I find it so weird. It's as simple as that. I can't put it any more simple than that. On the other hand, do I think the General's Handbook is a good idea? Yes. Right? So you might be like, Jay, you're making absolutely no sense. Fair enough. What the concept of updating your points and balancing things out and giving things like a fresh lick of paint makes perfect sense, right? Yeah, we need to correct the things that we messed up. This is broken. We need to sort that. Or this could use a mild tweak. We need to sort that. Fine. But release it as a free PDF. Maybe sell your book as well, but release it as a free PDF. I just firmly believe that. Especially things that were released that year. I could sort of understand if the stuff beyond that, older than that, needed something fresh, and you were like, well, actually, it's gone so far, we put in so much work, we're going to update that and we're going to sell that. And I can sort of understand, well, if you're going to do that, well, you might as well update the stuff that you released that year so that also gets a bit more balanced. And fair enough, you only need these points if you're even interested in playing competitively. But most people want to play a fair, balanced game, so most people are going to want to play it the right way. That's it. But if you're just playing with friends and you don't really care about balance or whatever, you just play with the points that you've already got, right? Fair enough. But I just don't feel like you should sell it's essentially rules, but it's obviously points. I don't feel like you should essentially require people to play competitively by selling them in this case, you've got the rule book, you've got the army book, and then you're going to have the point book. That's for like 40k. In Kill Team it's a little bit differently because you've got your the core book actually has the rules, but then you've got your expansions like Arena, Elites, Commanders, and then you're going to have this book that has the points for all of them, which sort of seems a little bit better, but not really. And I have spoken about how I actually like the idea of the annual, so again, I'm not hating on the concept of the annual, but I just look at things like Kill Team Arena. I thought that having a purely designed competitive mode that you update maybe once a year, maybe even release like another box set so people are playing on different maps and stuff like that. Like you're selling product, not just words and points. Yeah, fair enough. I feel like that would be worth doing. But just selling the points is a bit like meh. Now, I don't want to hail FFG as the Lord and Saviour in this regard, but when they updated Star Wars Legion, they didn't change that much, but they added a section, an errata section, that updated some of the points. And you know what? People weren't particularly pleased because they said, well, we got points on the cards. You know, nullifying that. And they were just like, whatever, get over it. Most people have, that's not FFG's words, they're my words, but most people have like phones and they can check it digitally, so just do that. And I firmly agree with that, right? I wouldn't want them to sell a card pack necessarily and just be like, you have to buy that card pack, or a book where you have to buy that book just for the new points. I would be salty as that. I'm already salty about this, and I'm not even going to buy these. So that's that. But yeah, they give away the points and updates for free. Now, GW could do that. Could they not? Maybe. Just saying. The only other time that's happened where FFG actually made you buy rules for a game you already existed was the 2nd edition X-Wing, and you needed to buy a conversion kit, which for most people was one conversion kit, which was about £40 maybe at most. I can't remember the exact figure. And you know what? People were salty as balls. People were very unhappy about the Kill Team rules being needing to buy conversion kits. And they were buying physical product because the game had changed so much in eight years, I think it was, by the way. Not like a year or two. The game had changed in like 8 years that they needed to like refresh some things and make it available to everybody, make the game a bit more standard. People weren't happy with that. Games Workshop, on the other hand, are just selling books every year, or every other year, whatever it is, and people are lapping it up. It's blowing my mind. And then conversely, it sort of highlights to me that their rules are not all over the place in terms of quality. They're all over the place in where you get them. You buy the rule book, you buy the point upgrade, you buy White Dwarf. How do you collate all this together? To explain this to a new person, I think would be incredibly difficult. That's all I can say. It really winds me up, but I don't know why. I think this is one reason I wouldn't want to get into the game, like something like 40k. And I'm really hoping Warcry doesn't fall into the same sort of category. I don't mind the Tome of Champions because it's like, hey, we're not selling those products, we're just going to replace them with a book. So you could either spend £6 on those cards when they came out, or now you're going to have to spend 15 quid. I'm like, all right, but at least I get every faction, so that's okay. If they start changing points, if they say you actually, even if you bought the cards, you now need the book for that, I'd be salty again. But obviously, I'm jumping ahead of the gun. I'm jumping ahead of the game. Whatever. I'm jumping the gun. But I wouldn't be surprised if Games Workshop did it. It's as simple as that. So it's weird. As I said, I don't want to. The concept of updating things and keeping things balanced is a great idea. Fantastic, beautiful, love it. Mwah. Selling the book as just the points upgrade, I find disturbing. I honestly do. I know it's not even that much money, right? Especially if you're a wargamer. Like, some of us are spending more money they should and not painting stuff, right? Some of us, not me, but some of us. Fair enough. So £15-20 on a book might not be that bad, but to some people who want to play competitively, who don't have a high budget, this is just an extra cost that they've just got to throw in. Whereas I feel like it should be free. That's it. I'm gonna go. I'm probably getting myself into trouble. Like, I think Games Workshop do a lot of good things. I just feel like the way that the rules are all spread out and charging people essentially twice for rules, I just find it weird. And we all go, brilliant, Games Workshop. I got it. Does my nutting. It just does my nutting. So very randomly angry video there. I do apologise, but if you think I have said something incorrect, you say, Jay, it's fine that we buy our points twice because of X, Y, and Z. Please write that in the comments. I'm very open to my mind being changing. Yes, I'm coming across as reasonably salty about this, but I'm very open to my mind being changed on this if I can be convinced that this is a good thing, a sensible idea. But I just think that the points update should be free. And I feel like it's going to be difficult to change my mind, but I'm happy to try. So please do. So don't like this video, because I'm not sure I like this video. I'm going to have to watch it back to make sure I didn't say anything I really regret. So if I've released it, I obviously didn't. But yeah, that's that. Anyway, I'm a bit angry about that one. I'm still going to buy them. No. Have a most beautiful day. Like and subscribe. Goodbye.